Hello. So today I'm going to show you how to create a cake slice out of a slab of clay, and I've made some patterns for you. You can see this says the side times 2, so you need 2 of these, and this is the top, so you need 1, and this is the back, and you need 1. I know that's kind of sloppy written. I accidentally wrote 2 and then realized that was wrong. So we had deconstructed the shape of a cake slice, which that's our learning objective, to know what deconstruction means. So we broke a cake slice down into geometric shapes, and these were the shapes that we saw. And now we're going to use these geometric shapes and cut them out of a slab of clay to make our cake slice. And remember that our pieces have to be hollow so that they dry completely and don't explode in the kiln. So I'm going to take, and I need 1 of the tops and 2 of the rectangles. The rectangles are the largest, so I think I'm going to start with those first. So you're going to lay the pattern down onto the slab, and you're going to use a tool to press down onto the clay until it touches the table. And since you need 2 of these, you're going to cut 1, and then you're going to cut a second one right next to it. Now you don't want to cut right in the middle, just like with a piece of paper. We don't like to cut our shapes right out of the middle of the paper because it wastes a lot. So this is like a piece of paper. So there's my first slab. So I'm going to take my finger with a little bit of pressure and rub the edges. Just smooth those up a little bit. Put those aside. And now I need this and this. And you can't get that out of that. So I'm going to roll this up. And you'll get some more clay for me if you need it. And you're going to roll it into a ball and then pat it into a pancake. And you want it the same thickness as this slab, so it's a little bit thin. Typically more thin than we usually do. So I'm going to start by just pressing this and mixing the clay up, and then I'll use the palm of my hand to pat this down. So I need 1 of these and 1 of these. And I need to use pressure on my finger to smooth out these edges because they can get pretty rough once they dry and they're fired. Okay, and this is my extra clay for any decorations I want to do. And so now I'm going to start to put this together. So these are the sides that form the side of the cake. And this is the top of the cake. So I can see that I'm at this side too far out. So I need to bring it in so that the cake slice top sits on top of it, and then this goes on the back side, and that's going to go actually under it. And I think it's a little too wide, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit. So you're going to have to make some adjustments when you're doing this. So then this would slide into the bottom. So I make like the triangle, and then this goes on top. Okay, so putting this together, this is how it goes, but I need to score and slip the pieces together. So I'm going to deconstruct this, pull this apart again, and I'm going to score and slip the ends where they come together. It's very important that you score and slip. Bring these together, pinch. I'm going to smooth this seam out. Score and slip the inside here, the inside edge, and then this sits inside, so I do the edges here, and then I set that inside, and I press these together, making sure this edge here is even, that I don't have this further in and then this sticks out, so that these are even. And I want to take a popsicle stick, get it wet, and pull that across the seam here to make that seam go away. So I'm going to hold this up and show you. So you can see the seam here where the 2 pieces are together, but this has been smoothed over, so you can't see that. That makes for a firmer, stronger hold. If you move these a little bit and the seam keeps showing up, then you need to press deeper and smooth that in better. And then this sits on top, so I have to score along all the edges of the triangle. Okay, now if you look here, this edge right here is a little bit taller, so I could just shave that off so it's more even, but then I need to score and slip there again. Alright, just a little bit of water these edges up, and then I've got to smooth those ends. So if you look here, the point of my triangle is pointier than the edge of my cake. So I can pull this to make it pointier, or I could chop that corner off. I think I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to pull this and make it pointier, but I'm also going to bend this into there and smooth that out. And then I need to do the sides, the seams here, just like I did the back. So this doesn't look pretty right at the beginning, for sure. But then when I smooth it over with my fingers, I can get rid of that. And I also put my hand inside so that it doesn't cave in on me. Okay, and then the back seam. Don't forget all 3 seams. So there I have a nice cake slice, and now I can start to decorate it. So I'm going to add the decoration that goes along the outer edge by rolling out 2 coils. And you've already sketched out your idea, so you know what you're creating. And then I'm just going to pinch these ends together and twist. I'm going to score and slip. Now if I look at the ends of that, it doesn't look very smooth. So I'm going to smooth the ends of those so they don't get too rough. And I'm going to firmly press this down so that it stays stuck to the scoring and slipping. Now I think I want to do a layered cake. So I want to draw the lines where the layer is. So I'm just going to use a popsicle stick because it's nice and straight, and press that into the side without making this collapse. So you can see I can't get the middle of this, so if I put my hand in and push up and get the middle. Now I want these to line up on the other side. So I'm keeping it up here so I can line this up with the same. Put my hand inside and press this. Now the layers would be only on the 2 long sides. The back side would have frosting so you wouldn't see the layers. And as you work, your cake slice is going to kind of want to go in. So you just keep pulling that back out. And see, this back side wants to kind of go in too. So you just keep pulling that back out so that it stays a nice triangle. Okay, and I think I'm going to put a berry on top. So I'm going to keep this extra lattice that I have here, get some clay. I'm going to form it into a berry, and that's kind of too big, so I'm going to pull some of that off. And I like strawberries, so they're kind of pointy on one end and bigger and rounder on the other. So roll this kind of like a coil, but then the end make it a little bit pointier. Here's my strawberry. It still seems a little big. I want this to lay flat on my cake. So even though I've made it round, I'm going to tap one side of it so that it'll sit flat. I'm going to add some leaves. So I just took this coil and I rolled one end of it a little bit smaller so it was kind of pointier to look like the greenery on the end of a strawberry. I scored and slipped. It's very important that you score and slip all these little pieces. And I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to add the seeds that are in a strawberry. And of course score and slip where I'm going to put the berry. Press that firmly on, so I'm going to put my hand inside the cake slice to hold the top up so it doesn't collapse, and firmly press the strawberry on. Alright, and that can be my finished cake. Or I could add texture to the frosting that would be on the outside of this. I could add another one of these here across the bottom if I wanted. You've designed your cake slice so you know what you're going to add to it. But that's how you make a cake slice out of clay, making sure the bottom stays hollow so it'll dry and fire easily. And then you will bring it to me when you're done, and I will scrape your initials on the bottom and fire it and get it back to you to be glazed.